Hello, this is Dr. Getty Chimeka Anyanwoke. I am an infectious disease physician and I practice in Louisiana, USA. Today, we are going to be continuing on our series of discussions on sexually transmitted diseases, STDs. Our second series is on gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is also known as the clap or gonococcal infection or gonococcal urethritis. Gonorrhea is a sexually transmitted disease or infection caused by the bacterium Neisseria gonorrhoeae. This organism can cause infection in the mouth and throat associated with oral sex and even the eyes when it comes in contact with the mucous membranes of the eyes. The rectum is affected with anal sex. In women, it also can infect the reproductive system like the cervix, uterus, and the fallopian tubes. It can also affect the urinary system to include the urethra in both men and women. It can also affect the male reproductive organ occasionally. Gonorrhea has remained prevalent, especially in younger people between ages 15 to 24. It is estimated by the Centers for Disease Control that approximately 1.14 million new gonococcal infections occur in the U.S. every year. How is gonorrhea spread? Gonorrhea is an STD transmitted by sexual contact with a sexual partner who is infected by the organism Neisseria gonorrhoeae. This contact will be with the mouth, vagina, penis, or anus. True or false? Ejaculation has to occur for gonorrhea to be transmitted. The answer is false. All you need for transmission to occur is sexual contact with an infected individual. Gonorrhea can also be transmitted during childbirth from mother to baby. After treatment of gonorrhea, one needs to take precautions as reinfection can occur with another exposure to an infected individual. So, what are the risk factors for infection by gonorrhea? The highest infection rates are found amongst 1. Sexually active teenagers, 2. Sexually active young adults, 3. Sexually active African Americans, and 4. Any sexually active person. Signs and symptoms of gonorrhea. First, let us describe gonorrhea in women. Most women infected with gonorrhea may have no symptoms. When symptoms occur, they may be non-specific, they may be mild, they may be mistaken for other vaginal infection or even bladder infection. The woman may complain of burning when urinating, increased vaginal discharge, or even bleeding from vagina between menstrual periods. Any woman with gonorrhea infection runs the risk of developing complications as a result. Now let's talk about gonorrhea in men. A lot of men may have no symptoms at all. Some men may complain of burning during urination or even green or yellow or white discharge from the penis. These symptoms may occur within 2 weeks after exposure. Gonorrhea infection may be complicated by infection in the testicle or scrotum or epididymis, leading to pain in these areas. In people who perform or receive oral sex, they can have pharyngeal infection, which may either have no symptoms at all or sore throat. In people who have anal sex, they can have rectal infection. Again, they may have no symptoms at all, or they may have rectal soreness or discharge or anal itching or even pain during defecation or bowel movement. What are the complications of gonorrhea? If gonorrhea is not treated in both men and women, it can lead to harmful and serious consequences. In women, gonorrhea can lead to pelvic inflammatory disease, also known as PID. PID can occur when the gonorrhea or any infection spreads to the woman's reproductive organs like the uterus and fallopian tubes. This can lead to chronic pelvic pain and even internal abscesses, which may end up damaging the fallopian tube. This can lead to ectopic pregnancy. This is when you have pregnancy occurring outside the womb, or even lead to infertility. The woman may have mild symptoms or may complain of fever and abdominal pain. In men, gonorrhea can lead to infection in the epididymis, which is a highly convoluted duct located behind the testis that allows the passage of sperm. Occasionally, this may lead to male infertility. Also, untreated gonorrhea can spread into the bloodstream and carry the gonorrhea to everywhere in the body. This condition is considered life-threatening, and it is called disseminated gonococcal infection, DGI. The patient with this condition may have skin lesions. They may have pain and swelling in the joints, suggesting arthritis or inflammation of the tendons or stenosynovitis. If gonorrhea is untreated, it can increase an individual's risk for either transmitting or acquiring HIV/AIDS. Pregnancy and gonorrhea. Gonorrhea in a pregnant woman should be treated as soon as possible, as if left untreated, the baby can get the infection through the birth canal at the time of delivery. Gonorrhea in newborn baby can lead to 1. Life-threatening bloodstream infection, 2. Blindness of that baby, 3. Joint infection. Testing for gonorrhea. Any sexually active person can have gonorrhea infection. People who have gonorrhea should be tested for other STDs as well. People who should be tested for gonorrhea are as follows. Number 1, test anyone with genital symptoms like genital discharge or burning during urination, genital sores that are not usually present, or genital rash. Number 2, test anyone with a sex partner, be it vaginal, oral, or anal sex partner that got diagnosed with any STD. Number 3, any sexually active person can be screened, whether they know of exposure or not. In fact, yearly gonorrhea screening is recommended by the Centers for Disease Control for A, all sexually active women of 25 years of age and less, B, all women older than 25 years with risk factors such as 1, people with multiple sex partners, 2, people with new sex partners, and 3, people with a sex partner diagnosed with STD. Testing for gonorrhea is either by culture or nucleic acid amplification testing, NAAT. Testing in women can be done on the following samples: endocervical or vaginal samples, even urine or urethral swab specimen samples. Testing in men can be done on the following samples: urine or urethral swab specimen samples. Testing in people who had oral sex can use pharyngeal swab specimen. Testing in people who had anal sex can use rectal swab specimen. For more information about testing, please contact your healthcare provider or you visit www.stdassessment.com. Treatment of gonorrhea. Gonorrhea can be treated with antibiotics. Over time, we have noted increasing resistance to antibiotics when treating gonorrhea. This is truly concerning. It is important that you finish your antibiotic prescribed for the cure of gonorrhea. It is also worthy to note that the medication will only cure the gonorrhea, but any previously occurring damages as a result of the disease will remain. If a person continues to have symptoms after treatment, please return to the healthcare provider. A person who has been diagnosed and or treated for gonorrhea should immediately inform all their sex partners within the last 8 to 10 weeks prior to symptoms manifestation. This is so that they can also be evaluated and treated. For the avoidance of doubt, sex partners include oral sex partners, vaginal sex partners, and anal sex partners. Informing sex partners helps to decrease reinfection of self and others, as well as decrease the risk of developing harmful health complications for the sex partner. We advise no sexual activity while on treatment to prevent reinfection or infection of the sexual partner or partners. For more information, please contact your healthcare provider or visit www.stdassessment.com. Prevention of gonorrhea. This is mainly by practicing safe sex. Number 1, condom, condom, condom. We advise latest condoms. Please use it correctly and always. Number 2, stay in a mutually monogamous relationship, having made sure that you and your partner are either not infected or have been tested negative for gonorrhea or other STDs. Number 3, which is difficult, abstinence from oral, vaginal, or anal sex will ensure prevention of gonorrhea and other STDs. For further information, please visit www.stdassessment.com or email help@stdassessment.com. Again, my name is Dr. Getty Chimeka Anyanwoke. I am an infectious disease specialist and I practice in Louisiana, USA.